Yeah, daddy. We are so back. It's July. We're all 0-0. Nobody's lost anything yet. Everyone's ready to draft. Someone thinks they've got a sleeper. And someone hasn't bought their fantasy magazine just yet. It's okay. We've got time. But it starts today. It starts now-ish, kind of. So get your notepads. And welcome back to The Wire.
Why? The Players Club tour. Check the tape, make the move. The Tuesday morning waiver wire is calling out your name. One bad injury can really change the game. I'm looking at the stats, I'm digging through the depth. I'm counting every yard and every single breath. The Players Club is ready, boys are talking trash. Better set your roster before you feel the crash. Plug it in, wire it up, ready to go for the Players Club. The Wire, the Wire. Make the trade, get the ring. Listen close for the news I bring. The Wire, the Wire. Got a 3-team deal on the table tonight. Giving up a superstar to make a flex right. Buy low, sell high, that's the way we live. Take everything they got, leave nothing left to give. From the first round pick to the sleeper on the bench. We're digging in the dirt, we're grinding in the trench. Plug it in, wire it up. Ready to go for the Players Club. The Wire, Wire. Make the trade, get the ring. Listen close for the news I bring. The Wire, Wire. Who's next on the list? The Wire, Wire, Wire. Who's next on the list? The Wire, the Players Club. Stay tuned.
What is up? How about that intro? Promise I'm not going to do that every time. I can't promise. I'm going to have some intros and some fun raps and fun things to say, but yeah, I had to switch it up. There was some copyright stuff going on with the former stuff, and I might tweak that. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. I had fun making it, and I dabbled into this AI. I've got really leaned into it, so to speak, and I think everybody should. It's coming from our jobs. Anyway, what we got here? This is The Wire, and this is episode 1. We're so back. Yeah, so this isn't really about fantasy advice. I shouldn't be giving that. This is just a weekly report, a little trade talk, trash talk, league business, sports, movies, food, nostalgia, anything that kind of pops into the mind and we want to talk about and have a good time with. I've got a bunch of segments this year. So many that I've come up with, and I'm going to have fun intros and all kinds of graphics and stuff like that. It's going to be a wild season. So, that's what this is. And that's what we're doing. We're doing it, Daddy. Fuck it. Why not? Anyway, well, with that being said, I think we should probably just get into a couple of things. First of all, league business number 1. So let's do a little segment called League Business. All right, what's going on around the league? First thing, this week, It's Sunday, 6 p.m. I'm sending out a Teams meeting invite. Everybody is invited to come and check it out. We're going to get together and have the draft lottery. So the league officially starts this Sunday. So be ready for that. It shouldn't take long. Last year, I want to say I had about 5 attendees or so, and there was probably took all of 15 minutes or so to actually get the numbers out. It was a little quirky because I actually acquired this little, bingo ball thing, but it was a smaller scale, and I kind of wanted some build up, and it just spit out the ball real quick, and I was like, well, I think one of them went rolling across the room, but we've had some lottery mishaps over the years. We won't talk about that. Maybe we will later. I don't know. Either way, I'll be filming the whole thing just like I'm doing here, and probably do a wrap on it as long as I can get a grip on all this equipment and software and stuff. So this is really the first time I'm kind of putting this all together. So there'll probably be, you might have heard some cracks or something in there. I'm still fine tuning everything. So stay with me. Stay with me. All right. Second order of business. After a lot of consideration all off season, thought about everything that we're doing here aside from just this, but whether it's trading draft picks or 14 weeks of fun, the shit talk, the text messages, the hours and hours of entertainment. And so I think that we have to increase the dues. Even fantasy football is not immune to inflation, unfortunately. So the dues are increasing to $200 for the season. Now, I know that might be a little bit of a shock, and I hope that doesn't dissuade anyone from the league. But aside from everything that we're doing, it's just fun. I mean, I think if you look at it, it's whatever that is, $10, $15, $12 a week or something of entertainment. And I think that we would all pay for that. The way the money will be redistributed is there'll be $1,200 now to first place. So you're getting that $200 back plus still the $1,000 that you're getting before. Second place will be $350. And I wanted that disparity there because it should be a difference. It's hard to win the league. It's really hard. It's really hard to get into the playoffs. It's really hard to maneuver through the playoffs, and then you can have the greatest season ever and just come up short and it's tough, man. And so So it's top heavy, right? Second place, $350, third place, $150. Now, with that being said, wanted to bring back the playoff bonus, right? So there'll be $50 bonus just to make the playoffs. Okay. So if you think about that, then third place would essentially get $200 their money back by making the playoffs plus the third place finish. And then you'd get $400 for second, essentially, because you would get the $50 playoff bonus. And so you would double your money. So there's that. Now, also wanted to raise the weekly high points to $25. So from $20 to $25. So a little bit more of an impact on that weekly high points. And yeah, that's it. And that's $2,400. Boom, gone. I'm excited. All right, second rule of business. Next rule change. Again, a lot of consideration, thought about it, and decided Yahoo will allow us to move to a 7-team playoff. Love this idea. You get that's exactly how the NFL went on both divisions or conferences, and this sneaks one more guy into the playoffs. And then what it does is it doesn't, we eliminate bye-week brunch, which was always just a metaphorical thing and never actually happened. Maybe one time Belty and Ev went to lunch or something. I don't know, but it never really happened. And it awards the guy who comes in first for the regular season. So that is a full-on award for basically having the best regular season. Is you don't got to play the first round. So the 2 would play the 7 seed, the 3 would play the 6, and the 4 would play the 5, and then advance on, so on and so forth. More people in the party. So there'll be 5 of us left out, which I'll probably be in that 5. It's trending, just trending. Anyway, Also, last move. Only other thing is I wanted to move the trade deadline back. So, in order to kind of curb the draft pick trading, which I know is like one of these weird hot topics, I wanted to make sure that we did something for that kind of made you really think. So, I moved it back 1 week. So, with 7 teams making the playoffs and the draft and the draft pick trading deadline or the trade deadline moved back 1 week. You're really gonna have to make some really conscious decisions. I think that the draft pick trading scenario will then be counter moved to not fringy teams who just don't feel like they have it, to really just teams that have had a really downtrodden bad luck season. Somebody who might be completely out of it, like, you know, a team that might be 1 or 2 wins, 7 losses, 6 losses, somebody who just feels like, hey, I can, you know, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this and make this historic comeback. So that's what that's all about. And I think that those changes will kind of curb some of these draft pick stacking, which, you know, it is what it is. I'm not mad at it at all. I feel like it's added a certain level of craftsmanship. Craftsmanship's maybe not the right word, but, you know, strategery, you know, as my brethren would say, to the game itself. But again, don't want to eliminate it. Want to kind of keep tradition. Kind of want to kind of give. I've always felt around the draft pick trading, it was like, if you did have that bad season, you did get all those injuries, you know, some things went wrong, there was really like hope for next year, you know. And I think that that's what happens with a lot of real teams too. So we're just trying to mock and mimic real life here, right? Because it's just fantasy. Anyway, yeah, that's league business. All right, we're back here. So, midsummer, and want to do a little summer check-in, see how everybody's summer's going. How you been out there? Like, what's been going on? I mean, I've talked to some of you. Wish I could talk to more of you more frequently. And see what's really happening. It's been hot. It's been real hot. Yeah, I don't think anybody's working out harder here than the AC. I've actually had to incorporate so many fans and stuff. I mean, it's been pretty brutal, but I've had a pretty low key summer. Got some stuff going on with our DC project, which has kind of been captivating a lot of my time. So, you know, maybe next summer be a little bit more exciting, but I wanted to know what y'all were doing. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, wouldn't this be a great way to start off the season with a little top 5 best summer hangouts? Let's do it.
This week's top 5.
What do you got in your top 5? Summertime is long been my favorite season of the year. You know, I think right around that summer equinox, I can remember those late nights being out there with the fireflies. You know, it's like all day you were just like going hard. You know, I don't think our parents gave a shit. Might get up, have, you know, some Rice Krispies coated with sugar, big cup of Tang, and then just head on out and just be on the bikes all day, building ramps, forts, you know, just all over the neighborhood, maybe a little basketball. Might show up for some sort of dinner, but then right back out, you know, the late night cruising of the neighborhood. You know, back then we had the little boom box and might have a little breakdance party. I don't know. You know, anything could pop off midsummer, but yeah, it's always been awesome. It's been awesome as an adult too, and as a, you know, somebody who's having kids, had kids, it's been cool to, you know, witness their summers and have that, you know, that day off, that final, it's the last day of school, and, you know, come home and just know they about to wow out, stay up all night playing video games for 2 months. It's a great feeling. Wish I could get that again. That's probably why Sneak went back to teaching school so he could get that summer. I know with the boat and all. But anyway, all right, top 5. All right, I would say number 5, it's got to be camp. I mean, I think everybody went to summer camp, and I know I can speak for Ev about his Camp Thunderbird experience. He's talked to me about that in depth late nights before and how much fun he had. And I got to go to a couple Boy Scout camps when I was younger and was there the whole week away from the parents, no cell phone, and we would play soccer and build towers and make belts and all kinds of stuff, swim in a snake-laden river. There had to be snakes in that river. I was out at Camp Grimes. I know that some of you others experienced that same camp, and the more and more I think back about that muddy ass water, and we were like jumping off that pier and like swimming down like 8 feet to grab a freaking rock and bring it back up. I'm like, what in the world was in that river? Couldn't have been good, but man, those are great times. Late night around the fire, yada yada yada, singing and everything. It was nice. It's core memories, right? Core memories. So I'm gonna go with summer camp, number 5. Number 2, number 4. I'm gonna say the movies, man. Summer movies, blockbusters. I mean, this year is packed with a lot of summer movies. I mean, we kicked off the gates with Mortal Kombat, right? Right out the gate, Mortal Kombat. And then right after that, you got what else came down the pipe? I know we've got Spider-Man. I know there's it seemed the He-Man movie came out, which very nostalgic. I still haven't gotten over there to see that. I did see Mortal Kombat though. I feel like there was a couple other that I went and saw too as well. I can't remember exactly. But, you know, I just remember there was one time when me and this guy, Sam Esmail, which, by the way, Sam Esmail is a famous director, producer in Hollywood. We grew up together over in East Charlotte, and he was always filming. We used to film these, he had a camcorder, and we had a camcorder, but I wasn't allowed to use it. I wasn't allowed to touch it. It was a big deal. And, but his, you know, we had full reign on, and we would make these Batman movies with his little brother and all kinds of stuff. And we lost touch after in high school because he ended up moving in middle school. He ended up moving to New Jersey, and we kind of touch and go, whatever. But yeah, over the years, he ended up going to NYU, going to film school, and then he did a real popular show. It wasn't iRobot, but something like that, Robot Man or something. I don't know. He's had a couple other hits, and then he married Emmy Rossum. True story. Anyway, so good for you, Sam. But anyway, I remember one day we went to the movies. We went in and we paid for like the noon movie, and I want to say we saw like I feel like it was like Back to the Future 3 or Jurassic Park or something like that. But then as soon as that movie was over, we snuck into Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and then I think after that we just snuck into another movie and didn't even care what it was. It was probably like When Harry Met Sally or something like that. But no, I mean, it's so hot outside. You go in there, it's dark, it's cool. But do you remember that when you would just walk out of the movies and you go on and see like a day movie, but you walk out and it's still daylight? Fuck. It's like your eyes, the adjustment on the eyes. You're like, oh shit. Thought it would be midnight when I left here. Oh, love summer movies. Going to the mall, right? That's definitely number 3. Cruising the mall midday on a Tuesday, acting like you're gonna buy something. You ain't buying shit, bro. You ain't buying shit. You might have, $18 that's gotta last you, the next 7 days. But you were there. Had a great memory there too. One summer, me and Sneak, he was going to get his ear pierced, and he drove us there in his shitbox 83 Prelude. We got there, and that Prelude was Dookie Brown too. It was so gross. We get there, and we go into Claire's or whatever, and he's trying to get his ear pierced, and he's not 18, and they're giving him a hard time about it. But then they said they would sell him the kit. Well, we were there with this chick, friend of ours, and I feel like there was somebody else there. I think it was might have been Greg Crump or somebody. There was 4 of us, and he bought the kit, but he didn't, get his actual ear pierced. And this chick convinced him that she could just pierce it by piercing the fucking stud through his earlobe. So we're in the fucking food court at East Mall, and right by the Orange Julius, and this chick has got a fucking handful of ice up to his ear. She's just trying to jam this stud through it. Oh man, that was a good time. Anyway, so yeah, mall was awesome. But number 4 has to be the pool. I mean, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that. I mean, you could just spend all day in the pool. I mean, we would, I think you'd get out, you'd have that ham and cheese sandwich, throw some Doritos, hearing them being like, oh, you can't get up back in the pool until 30 minutes. I mean, you'd be counting that shit down, and probably 12 minutes counted as 30 minutes, I would say. Something like that, 11 minutes. And then them ice cold Coca-Colas. Oh, boy. One of them Cokes in a freaking can. Boo. All right. Number 1's definitely the beach. Beach always for me. Love beach. Beach. Life's a beach. I can't get away from it. I remember I dug a hole so deep one time at the beach when I was a kid. I thought, I was going to China. Didn't make it. And the water never really reached there, but I always wondered about that hole. I always wondered what happened to that hole in the sand. I was thinking, man, at some point, it was low tide, but during high tide, I mean, that thing was gonna be that was gonna be bad. But who knows? Who knows what happened to that hole I dug? But some great times at the beach. Don't gotta span too much. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing this summer, man? Yeah. Well, comment, text me, call me. Get kind of bored, get lonely. All right. That's top 5.
This week's top 5.
What the fuck are the Hornets doing? What are the Hornets doing? I have a sneaking suspicion that something backfired big. One, if you're not aware, which I don't know if you live under a rock or what, but the Hornets traded LaMelo and Miles Bridges in the past week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's disappointing. It was a great season. It was probably the most excited I've been over a Hornets team and since the 90s. I mean, I can't tell you, I was never really a believer. I don't know if anybody was a believer in the Kemba Walker, Al Jefferson, that whole Marvin Williams, whatever, Jeremy Lamb, Nick Batum, Gordon Hayward, none of that, never seemed like a real, remember when they were trying to trot out a quote unquote big 3, and it was I think that they try to put KG in that, or they had who was it, Steven Jackson or Lance Stevenson. Remember when we signed Lance Stevenson? I was this is bullshit. This is that was right when Miami had LeBron and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and they're oh, our big 3 is Lance Stevenson and Kemba Walker and blah, 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 blah. I never, no, I'm not buying merch. But it's like with this team, you saw something happening, right? You saw some sort of evolution, and they were just fun to watch. We lost games, and I know the ultimate goal is to win the championship, and that's what you want. And if they really think that they were doing that with this, series of moves, we'll see. I don't, obviously, the teams I run are in a fantasy, right? And they do it in real life. So got to give them some, I guess, slack until we see, because there's been success with this regime, we'll call it. So I'll I'll reserve a little judgment, but I just don't understand. It's like, it sounded like, we traded Melo at the peak of his trade value because of his injury history, and they just didn't feel that they wanted to pay him, $500 million over the next 10 years or 8 years, 7 years, whatever these ridiculous contracts are. So, they didn't want to like buy into that, so they figured they'd get this, Nas Reed back. Which Nas Reed, good piece. I'm not a hater. Don't love it, but well, I do I like him, not for Melo, right? And I don't care about like the Knicks said, fuck them picks. Like I don't, we haven't been great at picking. We got Concanipple, that was a good pick. Miller was a good pick. LaMelo was a good pick. I mean, go back to that draft, and if you didn't get Ant Edwards, at least you got LaMelo. Like we could have gotten Wiseman or whatever. Like LaMelo could have gone second, which probably should. Well, he definitely should have. But anyway, you're telling me we get rid of Melo, one of the most exciting players in the league. We get rid of Miles. He's a 20-point-a-night bucket, and we're gonna get Nas Reed, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and Dorian Finney-Smith. What? What? Fuck are we? What? Royce O'Neal? That's not even Shaq O'Neal's kid, right? He doesn't even have any of the O'Neal lineage in him. The real O'Neals. Sorry, Royce. I don't think he's related to Royce 5'9". He's definitely not part of the Rolls-Royce family. So there's no Rolls-Royce. There's no Royce 5'9". There's no Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, there's no Patrick O'Neal. Is that a guy? Either way. And Grayson Allen, all I gotta say is, you tripping, bro. You tripping. Grayson Allen? We doing that? Okay. And we're loaded up for the 2033 class. I think we got 6 picks. So, 7 years from now, after Charlie's graduated college and into his career, we'll be able to really see what that entails. So, whatever. I guess it's a wait and see. But, what I think what they meant to do is they tried to trade Nas Reed, and I think it was Miles Bridges for Jaylen Brown, which if you tell me we're getting back Jaylen Brown, but we're losing Melo and Miles, I can get with it. But it didn't happen. For some reason, they wanted Miller. Like, it sounds like the whole thing just went sideways. And then they just shipped Miles out for whatever. And, and we're preparing. But it's like everybody on ESPN and shit loves the move. So I don't get it. But maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's have a pop culture timeout real quick.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. It's time for a pop culture timeout. Time out. Time out. So time out.
All right. Quick little new segment, pop culture timeout. So lately, I've talked to Ev about this. I've been on a Transformers kick. I know. I literally watched, in the past 10 days, 11 days, I've watched every one of the Transformers movies and the animated ones, which, were really good. Really good. Like, very nostalgic. Obviously the new ones I think are great. The Michael Bay ones are good. I like the newest one. The one with Optimus Primal. Yeah. Which I think is weird. But I did go down a rabbit hole and kind of find, there was a weird, like it was like the beginning of Pixar, pre-Pixar, like animation somewhere in the early 90s when they were really trying to like advance Transformers but relaunch it, and it was just the animation was terrible. It was really bad. But it was kind of advanced because it was more like 3D. Yeah, that portion stunk. But I think the biggest thing they did, you know, in the movie they killed Optimus Prime. So a little history. There was 4 seasons of the animated series. First 2 seasons, gangbusters, right? They're killing it, killing the toy game. You know, everybody loves Transformers, big thing. At the end, they decided to do a full-length movie, and within the opening act, they kill Optimus Prime. So, like, the main guy, and then they killed all these other characters, too, that were really popular. So, and they did that, and the thought process was, we're launching a new toy line. And that just, like, absolutely backfired, because the fans were just like, what? You killed Optimus Prime, and here comes Rodimus Prime, who's pink, right? Like, he's pink. Like, I mean, I can't take him serious. I mean, he's alright. He's, you know, but he wasn't Autobots roll out, you know, he wasn't full on, you know, you couldn't, nah, we're not following Rodimus Prime, fuck that. Series took a huge decline in the 3rd season, and then by the 4th season, they did a 3-episode season and ended the series. That's how bad it was. And somewhere in season 3, they realized they had fucked up, and they revived Optimus Prime, but this was like an afterthought and like a, you know, from the wave of backlash, they had to do something. How do you kill Optimus Prime, bro? Like, I mean, what are we doing? What's going on here? Anyway, Transformers, man, it was a good time. I didn't have a ton. I was really big into the G.I. Joes. I had all the G.I. Joes. All the G.I. Joes, bunch of the characters. Not the USS Flag, right? Didn't have the big ship. That was the one that coveted and didn't have that. Didn't have the space shuttle. I think that was called the Hero. But I had a lot of G.I. Joes. But I only had a few Transformers. I always got stuck with a bunch of GoBots from maybe some relatives just trying to get me a cheap gift around the holidays or a birthday or something. Shout out to relatives. You know, thanks for coming through with something, right? But I think I had Starscream. I did have Optimus. I feel like I had a couple other ones, but that was about it. Transformers were expensive. Like, you could get, like, you know, 6 G.I. Joe men for 1 mid-size Transformer or some shit like that. So, didn't get a lot, but I did love the series, and yeah. Well, anyway, I gotta wrap it up. I got stuff to do today, and plus I gotta figure out how to edit all this stuff. So stick with me this season, guys. It's gonna be a fun ride. We're gonna have a great time. I got tons of new music for you guys. I've been working early since mid-spring for this season. Like I said, between the graphics, the software, the music, I mean, it's going to be a blast, dude. It's going to be a blast. And I want you all to be entertained. So, yeah. I'll see you guys on Sunday at the draft lottery, Daddy. And then we can start doing all the mock drafts and figure out who we're keeping and do all that. So, we're so bad.
Players Club Tour. Check the tape, make the move. The Tuesday morning waiver wire is calling out your name. One bad injury can really change the game. I'm looking at the stats, I'm digging through the depth. I'm counting every yard and every single breath. The Players Club is ready, boys are talking trash. Better set your roster before you feel the crash. Plug it in, wire it up, ready to go for the Players Club. The wire. Train, get the ring, listen close for the news I bring. The wire, got a 3-team deal on the table tonight. Giving up a superstar to make a flex right. Buy low, sell high, that's the way we live. Take everything they got, leave nothing left to give. From the first round pick to the sleeper on the bench. We're digging in the dirt, we're grinding in the trench. Plug it in, wire it up. Ready to go for the Players Club. The Wire. Wire. Make some trade, get the ring. Listen close for the news I bring. The Wire. Wire. Who's next on the list? The Wire. Wire. Who's next on the list? The Wire. The Players Club. Stay tuned. Whoa!